Welcome back to Dave's Gone By on this Sunday evening, and we don't often get into the animal kingdom, even though my wife and I have owned a pair of dogs for about 6 or 7 years now. We also have a couple of frogs, and growing up also had a bunch of fish and turtles and newts and things like that. But I am an animal liker, if not, well, all right, I'm an animal lover, and I thought it'd be really, really cool to have someone on to talk about our pets and our four-legged and, well, three-legged if you get particularly hungry, those little friends of ours roaming around. But I didn't really feel necessarily qualified to do the interview myself. So really, as luck would have it, just recently got another dog from a shelter. His name is Bowels, and he's very, very fun and frisky. I mean, he's a young pet. What can you do? And he would have certainly more questions and be able to phrase them differently than I would be able to. And he'll be talking to Thom Somes. Thom is, well, he's the pet safety guy. But let's bring our dog, Bowels, in here, and he'll be talking to Thom. Bowels, come on, boy. Come on. Well, hello, and I'm very happy to talk to Thom Somes. He's the pet safety guy, the author of Knowing Your Pet's Health, a guide for optimal wellness from snout to tail. I got both of those. And hello, Thom, how are you?
Bowles, I'm doing very well, and I'm very happy to talk to you.
Well, I'm happy to talk to you. Do you have a biscuit? I could really use a biscuit right now.
It doesn't quite fit through the microphone here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait. I'll hang. So, first of all, did you coin the word pedizen?
Yes, I did.
What does it mean?
Pedizen is more about, there's a special relationship that humans have with you four-legged furry family members, as we call them. And the pedizen is a new role because in some municipalities across the country, they're actually saying there's no pet ownership anymore. It's guardianship. And I don't even care for the word guardianship. So I see it as a different relationship, that both the owner, quote-unquote, the owner, and the pet have a duty and a responsibility to each other and to the community for having a great life. And the pedizen kind of fills that up.
Well, you said that we have a duty, and I certainly make a lot of those. What do you say to owners who, well, they get mad when I make in the wrong place or at the wrong time? How do you jibe with wanting to love and own an animal, but the animal's not necessarily behaving the way you want them to?
I'll be honest with you on this one here. I don't believe in the rolled-up newspaper technique.
Oh, good. I'm very glad about that.
Because it's really hard to hit the rolled-up newspaper when you're trying to do your duty. Never mind. No, we're actually...
You're a funny guy.
Reinforcement. We try. I'm the pet safety funny guy. We like to be positive reinforcement. I think with dogs, cats, I don't know what your attitude is about cats, that kind of thing.
We fight. But we tend to fight like cats and animals, really. We do.
But no, positive reinforcement. Start letting you know what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to do it, I guess, is the way to say it.
Now, your main concern is health. You're into keeping the dog or the cat or the iguana or the ferret, if you're Mark Maron, healthy. Trying to really, what do you look out for to make sure that your animal... Well, let's talk about dogs, because that's really all I care about.
Okay.
What's to look for on a healthy dog, and what's a signal that there might be trouble a-brewing?
Well, that's kind of two sides of a similar coin.
Wait, can you hold that? Hold on, I have to lick myself for a minute. Okay.
And I would say that's a good sign right there that you're licking yourself. The thing that we talk about, we have the snout to tail assessment, and that's where you go from snout to tail, deliberate intent and purpose, looking for getting a baseline and looking for anything that the pet's not aware of. If it's for injury and if it's for wellness, which we're talking about, getting that baseline for them. Because if you know what's normal for your pet, then you'll know what's not normal for them. You'll be more quick to recognize that in the pet. Because if you want to have a pet that should have high energy and bright eyes, and we talk about those kind of things. And you sound like you're bright-eyed and bright between the ears and full of energy as well.
I'm bright-eyed and bushy. Well, a little bit dirty-tailed because I just did my business. But I'm generally bushy-tailed. I like Coldplay. For some reason. I like that band. Is that normal, or does that...
Oh, I thought you meant you like to play in the snow.
That too. Funny. Could you just do me? Could you hold your butt to the telephone so I can sniff it? I love that.
I cleaned it just for you.
Oh.
I'm going to change the name of my book. I'm going to call it The Guide for Optimal Wellness from Snout to Bowels.
Oh, you are just so the best. Can you be my master? I mean, Dave's okay, but I like you. You got a good sense of humor.
Well, I will map quest you directions. How's that?
I'll find my way somehow. I'll hitch. I'll put my paw up in the middle of Sunrise Highway. I'll get to you. I will. I promise that. Broadway theater has never been grander or more expensive. So, like any big purchase, you gotta do homework. You want to pick the best show or the most family appropriate, the best reviewed or with the biggest stars or most interesting design. Everyone has different criteria. Performing Arts Insider answers them all. For decades, the Bible of Broadway that professionals check for every show on every New York stage. Visit performingartsinsider.com and see davesgoneby.org for a 30% subscriber discount. Now go, do your homework. Everything is iPod this and download that. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned CDs? Well, at Dave's Gone By, we're still making them. Nearly every episode we've ever done is preserved digitally on compact disc and for sale at davesgoneby.org. And at a new low price, $10 per show, shipping and handling included. Add $1 per disc for a personalized autograph and check davesgoneby.org for multiple discounts. P2P, MP3, CD, me.
This is Thom Somes, the pet safety guy, and you're listening to Dave's Gone By on WGBB Freeport.
So, what are some of the dog emergencies that can happen, and what can people do? What are the first thing that people should do if they see their dog and there's a problem?
Well, when there's a problem, we always consider that you should talk to your vet, because if you notice something that's not normal or something like that, you should talk to them about that. But we also own Pet Tech, which is the premier pet first aid and care training in the country. And that program is for canine officers and animal controls and pet sitters and dog walkers and all that kind of stuff. And two of the most preventable accidents that occur with pets.
Well, I had a preventable accident before, but I didn't prevent it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
This is true. I was going to go somewhere else with that, but that's all right. But with the preventable accidents, we have the choking, because I know how you dogs like to just explore the world with your mouth, and you can sometimes get into things that you're not supposed to. But choking is one.
By the way, if you know any female dogs who like to explore the world with their mouths, yeah, I got my black book of bitches, so I'll add them by all means. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Please continue.
No, that's a good answer right there.
Thank you.
And the other one is heat injuries, which is one of those things that we talk about this time of year, is that, because you're a very special dog, Bowles, because you can speak, in not just in the literal sense. And that is that the pets, they can't communicate that they're getting overheated, so people take them out for a walk on a hot, humid day, and they're walking on hot cement, so the heat goes through their paws. You probably experienced being out in a hot day, and Dave's ignoring you, and not seeing all the signs of the tongue sticking out and hanging out down the side, and no more saliva in the mouth, those kind of things, and you're just really ready for a drink of water. So we're concerned about the heat injuries at this time of year, and that is one of the things we cover in our training. We actually cover over 50 actions for survival in our training, our pet first aid and care training.
Well, what's something you can do? Let's say you forget to bring water and you see a dog overheating. What can you do?
Well, you can reduce their level of activity, get them into the shade, and then you do want to get some water for them. But what you can also do is you can check their this sounds funky, but you want to check their gum tissue color. It's called the mucous membrane color. And if it's really bright red, that means the pet's really getting hot, because the pet's mouth is kind of like a car's radiator, and it helps to cool them off. So that's why those short-nosed breeds, I'm sure you'd never have a girlfriend that was a pug or something like that.
Oh, no, I can do better than that. Come on, I'm something of a stud,
I do know that. I think I've read your MySpace. I've seen you on MySpace.
Yeah. So I can get some long nose lady dogs, if you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, long nose and long tongue. But we won't go there. I'll go there, but we don't have to go there right now.
You go there, because I'll watch. I'll hold the camera. I'll hold the camera. How's that?
All right.
And it'll be on YouTube by midnight, no doubt. the other thing with the heat there is that we want to just get them. We do want to help get them cooled down, and you can use just amounts of water over their body too if they're extremely overheated. So we want to make sure we cover that for them.
Are dogs your main expertise over the years? How long have you been doing this?
I originally trained with the Michigan State Police in underwater recovery, so we used to cut holes in the ice, go down and recover dead bodies. So that was fun. And I put myself through college working for ambulance services, and fast forward several years, I actually had a human first aid. We still have the human first aid company, and we teach for quite an A-list of clients here in San Diego. And back in 1994, someone was in my class, and they said, this is a really good class, but how would I do this to my dog? Because he also was a big-time dog lover. And so we went back to school, got my veterinary assistants, and put the whole program together. And one of the things that sets our program apart is that we do a lot of hands-on, and everything we do dovetails and supports what's going to happen at the emergency animal hospital with the veterinarian.
Very good. So are you more of an expert, though, in cats or in dogs? You, personally?
Well, I have to be PC. I have to be politically canine on this. So, I'm a big dog lover. We currently do not have a cat, but I have had cats that have come into my life.
So it's been a kind of a while since you've had pussy in your life, is what you're saying.
Well, cats have come into my life, but I swerved and missed them. So how's that?
I like this guy. This is Thom Somes, who is the pet safety guy, and you know about all the different kinds of dogs and all the different breeds. And let me ask you something. This is a test. If you go into a Vietnamese restaurant, can you tell the different breed by the taste of the chicken?
Only if they cook the back end. Never mind.
I don't.
Then you would be able to tell, Bowels. Then you'd be able to tell.
Nice comeback there, by the way. And have you ever bitten a mailman? Oh, that is fun. You should try it. It's really, really... They're not expecting it, and you come up behind real quiet on two paws, and then take a little piece out of them.
Well, I heard they taste like chicken, so...
Well, actually, they taste like Vietnamese food, which is really bizarre. Don't ask me how that all dovetails together, but it does.
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works.
Now, what are some other what are mistakes that people make about their dogs? What do they do that they think they're doing something good and giving them a treat, but they're not?
Well, in our book, Knowing Your Pet's Health, A Guide to Optimal Wellness from Snout to Tail, we actually have 5 components of optimal wellness. And one of them is that snout to tail assessment that we were talking about, and the other one is nutrition. And I know I'm not trying to say how old I am here, but in dog years I'm really old. And the thing, so I'd be very wise. And the thing is that when I was a kid, it was like give them puppy food for the first year of life, and then give them, dog food for the rest of their life.
Right.
And we're really into nutrition. With that big pet food recall of 2007, pet owners like Dave, hopefully he watches the news, Bowels, and is up to date in giving you good food.
He doesn't get the food from China. He makes sure he gets it from Venezuela. He sometimes gets Colombian with a little white. He says it's sugar that he sprinkles on there, but I don't know. But no, he's not touching.
Antarctic penguin is really good.
Yes. But he's careful that way. But you do have to be careful. And you don't want to feed. Some people think that it's okay to feed a dog people food. Is it ever?
No, people food is okay. It really is. You can give them fruits and vegetables and things like that. And the thing that you don't want to give them is what you don't or won't eat, such as like the big fatty piece of meat that's around a steak. As good as that might taste, Bowels, it's kind of like the good taste of bad food. That's called high-density food, so it has a lot of calories in it and has very little nutrition, so it doesn't do very much for you. But with a very small dog, depending on size of animal, a lot of fat like that can cause problems with their pancreas. And that actually happens quite a bit around the holiday season, from Thanksgiving to New Year's. Pets that get into the trash, they dumpster dive in there, and they get a lot of that fat, and it can cause pancreatitis, which can become life-threatening in a matter of a few hours. I got
just a little diarrhea, but it was worth it. It was so good because it was the Chateaubriand, it was the rim, and it was a treat. And I have to say, it wasn't fun for Dave and his wife for cleaning it up for 3 days, but it was fine for me.
3 days is a little diarrhea. As I said, I didn't know there was a big difference between a little diarrhea and a lot of diarrhea, but 3 days is a lot of diarrhea.
And the color, it was mustardy rather than the more usual burnt sienna. I pay attention to these things.
And Was there a splash zone or kind of like Shamu or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Well, this absolutely shocked me. Have you ever read the book of Clifford, the Big Red Dog? I mean, it's got a cartoon and all that.
Yeah.
I was absolutely shocked. I can't read, but Dave was reading it to me one day because he was bored. And did you know that what Clifford's favorite food was, his favorite treat?
No.
Absolute shock. This is not a joke. I'm not making a humorous observation here.
It would not be chocolate.
Chocolate cake. Absolutely staggering that this book, this famous book, that is considered a beloved children's classic about how to bond with your dog, and the dog gets all big because the kid loves it and all that, stuff. And chocolate cake is his treat. You should recall that
conspiracy, and that is actually a cat owner is the author of Clifford, and they're plotting against dogs across the world.
Good point. Good point. We have to go against those people who love pussy. It's about dogs. I'm sorry about. Hold it. I want to ask something about obsessive compulsive behavior, but I have to do some more licking. Hold on. Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm done. So, obsessive behavior. How do you get your dog out of that?
Well, I don't actually do a lot of behavior training. Ours is more like the first aid and optimal wellness and care and things like that. But we do recommend that if you have a pet that has a behavior problem, it tends to be a people problem. It tends to come from the person and not the pet. The pet is just responding to the stimulus and the environment that's going on, so that's why the pet is behaving that way. So you can always get a good qualified animal behaviorist or a trainer of sorts.
Let me ask you a question, just between you and me, and, well, the people listening, but really between you and me. Cesar, nice guy, ever met him?
Yes, I have met him.
Is he hot in person?
He and I both we both spoke at the same event. I'll give a shout-out to the International Association of Canine Professionals. We were both speakers that year at their convention just 2 years ago. And very nice guy, a very nice guy. I know some people aren't fans of his techniques, but, you don't. He uses more techniques and he has more than one tool in his toolbox. So he has brought a lot of awareness to animal behavior problems because the old solution for severe or chronic behavior issues was to get rid of the pet, and that's not real humane or
good.
Nice.
I agree with that, and I also say he has a nice tush. I see him on TV. He's got a nice butt, and I just want to put my nose to the screen and sniff it, which is basically what I do. And thank you also for doing that with your butt. You've got a pretty good smell. I mean, we could wipe a little better, but it's a pretty good smelling butt.
I'm still using hotel toilet paper that we got from our last road trip.
Oh. Well, save me some, because I like to play with that and all that. Anyway, I want to thank Thom Somes for being in the neighborhood with me. I'm Bowels the dog. And, Tom, just tell everybody how to find out about pet safety and all the stuff that you're doing again.
Okay, sure. You can go to pettech.net. That's pettech.net. That will get you to our first aid training. When you go to that first page there, you can also see over on the right, we have what's called the Million Petison Rally, and we're raising $1 million for 4 different pet charities. And we're doing that through the sales of our book, Knowing Your Pet's Health. And the book itself, if I tore all the pages out, except for the pages about the snout-to-tail assessment, we have pictures of every step of the way of doing the snout to bowels, we'll rename it here, assessments, that the book would still be worth 10 times what you pay for it. Because we actually have a snout-to-tail worksheet that's inside there that we made so you actually can copy it and use that on an ongoing basis.
And copy it, give it to your friends, and give it to your dogs to play with and pee on, because they'll like it too.
Yeah, a couple of different copies, depending on how big
several copies. One to read and one to just make mess on. Do it for your pet. They would do it for you, I believe. I think so.
Absolutely.
Well, Thom Somes, it's been a great pleasure. Wait, let me sniff. You want a lick? You can sniff my butt if you want.
There we go.
How's it smell? Is it good down there?
It's the best one I've smelled all day.
You flatterer, you. Oh, we're gonna I'm gonna zip on over there. I'm gonna go down the highway, and I'm gonna find you. You're gonna be my master, because I like you.
We live in Carlsbad, California.
All right, it's gonna be a long trip, but I'll bring biscuits. I'll be great.
Biscuits and water. We talked about this.
Water, and a little Chardonnay. Because every time
even better.
You gotta live it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Thom Somes, thank you for being in that neighborhood.
Well, thank you for having us.